Let me go to Rob. Rob's calling us from Mississippi. Hey, Rob.
Hey, what's going on, Dave, man?
Nothing much. Hanging in there, brother.
Hey, man, listen, this is my first time listening to the show. I'm really loving what you're doing, but I was calling on my behalf to see how can I get out this rat race, man? I'm only 35, but if the rate is going down, what it's looking like, man, it's like I've been working my whole life, and I ain't trying to do that.
Yeah. You know what, Rob? The best thing you can do, and I'd say this to everybody Rob's age out there that's thinking the same thing. How am I? I didn't. I'm not running. I'm not running this to be, working. The rest of my till I'm 80 years old or whatever. And for you guys, for you, Rob, and others your age, I'm going to say this: everybody under 50 right now. I'm not in the camp that Social Security is going away. I'm not in that camp. But I am in the camp that it's going to change dramatically for a 35-year-old today. There may be something, but I don't know what it's going to be, and I don't know when it's going to start for you. But it's not going to be something you're likely to be able to depend upon. And listen, the same way you get out of it today, even in the midst of what we have, is the exact same way that people got out of it 50 years ago. Nothing has changed. And the only way it is to suck it up now while I'm young and able to do everything I possibly can to work like a dog, to earn, not to say you're not now, I'm not saying you're not, but to work like a dog, to make every nickel. The Bible tells us that little by little wealth grows. So, I used to tell my kids growing up, I used to say, look, man, it takes a lot of crumbs to make a loaf. But here's the deal. If you're not working hard for the crumbs and you're not happy with the crumbs that you're getting, you're never going to have a loaf. You're never going to have a loaf. You're just going to keep building up crumbs and working for crumbs, and you're never going to have that loaf. So I would say to Rob, look, man, you got a window of opportunity being that you're young, you're healthy, and you're able to work harder and more than you're going to be able to work when you're 60. I mean, it's just the way it is. So accumulate as many crumbs as you possibly can. Be as wise with them as you possibly can. So here's one example that I would say to you. I said this to both my son-in-laws. Some time ago, we were at a park and we were going for a walk, and both of them said, what would you do if you were our age, getting ready to get married? Neither one of them were married to my daughters at the time. And what would you do to really be able to retire early or get out of this rat race? And I said, I would pick one company. Pick a company. I don't know, Ford Motor, whatever, ConocoPhillips. Pick a company, and every month, I would buy a couple of shares in that company of stock. I wouldn't worry about what it's costing me to buy it. And people saying, well, you got to pay $7.95 to buy that, and you're only buying 4 shares or whatever. I wouldn't even think about that. It would be irrelevant. And every single month, I would go on my little account and I would buy, whatever I could buy, 5 shares of whatever. I'm talking about big, solid, not a company that all your friends are telling you about. And this is going to be the next Apple computer and all that. Not those companies. The companies that are, they're not real exciting companies, but they're strong. They're going to continue to grow. And I would do that every month. I would do that. And I'm telling you, at 35, you do that every payday or every month. At 35, you're going to have a significant amount of money. You're going to have a significant amount of money. But you need to start doing something like that now. And you need to work to earn a few more crumbs, because every time you get a few more crumbs, you get to buy another share or maybe 2 more shares. Every time you get a little extra money, you get to buy a couple more shares. Not worrying about increasing your lifestyle, changing the way you live or changing the way you act, increasing. Well, I'm making more money now, so I'm going to now do this because it's something I always wanted to do, and now I can't. Now I can do it instead of and just stay right there. You'll have more money and you know what to do with at a relatively early age. But it's a matter, it's never changed. It's been the same always, and it still will be. There's no investments out there. If you try to find the investments that, hey, man, I got $2,000. I want to turn it into $50,000. If you're looking for that, I'm not saying there's not something like that out there, but there's whatever it is comes with an enormous amount of risk, and you're more likely to lose the 2,000 than you are to make the 50. So just plug along, strong and steady. And that's the best thing I can tell you, Rob. That's what I would tell any young person. And that's what you've got to do. You got to be committed to it. You got to be sold out to doing it. I'm going to buy whatever, again, pick a company. I'm going to buy ConocoPhillips or Phillips 66 or something. I'm just going to buy whatever shares I can buy every month. And that's the best thing you could do for you and your family.